So Elaine, tell us a little bit about your role within
Yep.
Tesco Insurance Money Services, media lead, what that involves on a day-to-day basis, what sort of marketing challenges you're trying to tackle.
Absolutely, yeah. So I started off my career actually in PPC as a search exec quite a few years back now. So a very performance-driven, focused channel. Actually, agency side is at what is now Essence Mediacom, which is actually the agency that we worked on this campaign with. So shout out to them. And then worked through various online channels. They are on programmatic, social. Eventually made the move to client side, where now as media lead for what was Tesco Bank is now Tesco Insurance and Money Services. The role that I have is really on driving innovation and growth in our marketing channels. So across above the line, all of our performance channels, and really putting a focus on what can we do next, what can we test, where can we drive growth and innovation from. And in terms of our challenges, I guess, as a business, everybody knows Tesco, well known and loved. Not everybody knows Tesco Insurance and Money Services, so we have a job to do there in reaching Tesco customers. We have a whole host of insurance products and what we call our money services products, which are travel money and gift cards that are sold in Tesco stores. So all of our products have some form of Tesco Club card benefit. So our main proposition and marketing challenge is around reaching Tesco customers. And if you have a club card, we are the insurance brand that offers a great benefit to Tesco customers.
Yeah, as you say, obviously Tesco very familiar to everybody. So it's interesting. So the relationship between your part of the business and the Tesco master brand, how does that work in terms of booking or planning campaigns, or the creative even? You know, everybody knows every little helps, but do you use that? Do you not use that? Is there a
we do. We do use every little helps. As you say, everybody knows that. It's really well known. Tesco's brand is one of our biggest assets, or if not our biggest asset, and it's our greatest strength to be part of Tesco. But we overlay our product knowledge and audience segmentation for our insurance customers with that master brand piece, and we develop everything that we do hangs off of the master brand guidelines, but we develop what that kind of means for us and how we need to reach and speak to our customers. So yes, sometimes that will be using the Every Little Helps tagline. We actually developed our own sonic brand guidelines for audio, so that we've got that distinct, I guess, focus for being known for insurance.
Yeah, and so as an online service, and obviously given your background on the sort of digital performance side as well, so why and how do you see radio fitting in within that, within your campaign as an advertising channel? Yeah,
so it was a shift for us to bring in radio. I guess one of the traps you can easily fall into as an online business is to only target and reach your customers online. It is obviously very accountable and very, very easy to prove ROI of those bottom of funnel performance channels. But we very much had an ambition of growth. And in order to do that, we were very aware that we had to expand our funnel and go beyond just those performance channels. And radio allows us to do that in a way that offers really cost-efficient reach, not the high investments that TV might need in terms of creative development. So it really offered us, I guess, that route into that space. And being a very performance-driven business, we were coming at it initially from an awareness perspective, or we'll use radio to try and measure awareness as kind of how we got it onto our plans and made that shift.
Yeah. So once you've been through the process, how did it work in terms of measuring and sort of assessing the performance of radio against the objectives that you set?
Yeah. So as I say, we came at it initially from an awareness perspective, but anyone who works for an online business knows the question of sales will always come up. So we had quite a few secondary metrics that we looked at to understand the influence that the channel might be having in sales. So this research was a great and important part of that. There were also a variety of things that we did in terms of incrementality testing and some smaller geo tests of radio to look at control areas and where we might see uplift in sales. and looking at our brand search and search uplifts as well. And all of that started to pull together a really positive picture of what radio was doing for us.
Great. So Donna, working with a number of brands, but why was Tesco Insurance Money Services the ideal kind of one to work with within this project?
Yeah, we were really, really pleased that Tesco Insurance Money Services came on board. It's been nice to meet Elaine in person today rather than just on a laptop screen. Tesco Insurance Money Services were an ideal candidate, of course, because the main remit is to drive those kind of potential customers to the website, and they were using radio as quite a dominant channel, a dominant kind of offline channel. So we knew that all those there'll be lots of radio impacts that we can feed into the model. We'd be able to get a really clear read on what radio was delivering. So we were very pleased that Elaine and their agency were happy to get involved in this project and really help us to fully understand what radio is delivering for them.
And what would you advise these types of advertisers or other advertisers to do to try and do more of what we've started to try and do here in terms of measuring the impact of radio? Because measurement seems to be often a challenge when you're used to, as you say, that instant kind of dashboard availability. So what would the advice be on how to address some of that?
Well, it's great to hear how Tesco are using it, obviously starting out in maybe brand trackers, having a look at uplifts in awareness and starting to do those little tests. Because of course you need to prove those routes through to the website, but it is a little bit more of a challenge to prove that or to kind of measure that initially with radio. So it is kind of setting up those tests and using as much kind of data as possible. There was a really great example from this study. We did some quoll videos. And we asked some radio listeners to do some online tasks to search for a holiday, and we filmed them whilst they were doing it. And this one participant in the quoll study was looking at holidays, going through the kind of Google search list and talking to us about why she was going to click on a particular link. And she got to Jet 2 and she started singing the Jet 2 song. And that was her reason why she was going to click on the link. She's like, oh, that song, I hear it all the time on the radio. And it was because she'd heard the ad so much on the radio that made her then click on that link. Well, if you're a brand and you're just looking at Google Analytics and you're just looking at that last click attribution, you would not have seen that radio was the reason why that particular customer clicked on that link. So it is a bit more of a challenge for clients to really understand what radio is delivering for them. So hopefully this gives them some reassurance that if you do look at it in other ways, that radio can really deliver from a performance perspective.
Yeah, no, it's a great example, and also it's a good sort of lesson on sort of lifting your head up a little bit and looking at the broader context, not just what you can measure right in front of you. So Elaine, in terms of what you're going to take away from your involvement in this project and your next steps, if you like, in terms of audio and how you intend to sort of apply some of this learning.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of what we're taking away is this has shown to us that beyond awareness, radio is driving performance for us as a channel. And this research has kind of really helped prove that. And I think that kind of multi-source approach that we've taken to looking at multiple sources rather than in performance, you can get very much into the space of there's one single source of truth. Whereas here we've taken a multi approach to that, and it's really kind of proven out and built up the story of what it delivers. For us and kind of where we're at now is we've just gone through our annual planning process, and radio is a BAU part of our plans now. Which is great, particularly, as I say, from going from being very, very performance focused to now being able to kind of broaden that funnel, but also prove what it does and what it delivers for us. So, yeah.
Great. Well, that's reassuring to hear, and all the work that Donna's put into this project as well. I think it's good to get that outcome. I think we're out of time, so I'm just going to say thank you again to Elaine Gilmour and Donna Burns.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.